Gerçekten Amerika'da bir tane adam artık kafayı yemişti. Tank çalıyor. Tankla şehri berbat ediyor.
Next on world's scariest police
Bak.
cases. Get out of the street and go back in your house. You're in danger. A day of terror. A tank on the rampage, and there was nothing the police could do.
We're running out the front door, and there's a tank coming down the street. And just as I got out in the driveway, he ran over my truck.
Baksana abi.
San Diego, California. Pursuit of a stolen military vehicle.
Adam tank çaldı. Tank.
Nothing has surpassed the day this city was held hostage by a deranged man who went on a rampage with a 100,000 pound tank.
Adam tankla geçti. Mahallelerde geziyor. Barış, teşekkürler. Nasıl çaldı ben de bilmiyorum ama tankı çaldı. Gitti her şeyin üzerinden geçti. Ezdi.
I'll call it the best I can. I'm trying to get this whole mess on videotape. He's in big trouble. Yeah, that's putting it mildly.
The police were able to find out that this man had armored vehicle training and had stolen this tank from a local armory. He was also known to have a history of emotional problems.
When I first heard it, I thought it was a joke.
This is bad. He's running over fire hydrants. You got hydrants that are blowing.
Instagram'dan bana yazıyorsunuz. Arkadaşlar Instagram'dan yazıyorsunuz. Biriniz yazmış abi kendisi zaten asker öyle çalmış diyorsunuz. Yoksa atıyorsun mu? Bence değildi, bir tane yaşlı adam da herhalde.
We heard the rumbling sound and I saw a tank coming down the street. Thought it was a drill or something.
Cars that are following him. I have no idea why.
Ölü yok herhalde arkadaşlar. Ölü yok. Sadece park bak. Şu bilerek vuruyor bak.
Oh my God.
Bir de geçiyor sorunsuz. Bak.
At the end of my shift and I heard the call come out on the radio, so I went back and got my patrol car and headed to the area.
Aha. Oha. Abi önünde hiçbir şey duramıyor ya.
Crunch.
It was during that time of day where people are getting off work or out of school.
He's coming up towards the school. Okay, 10-4.
It was a lot of people here. A lot of them were just in shock.
I didn't think they were ever going to stop him unless he ran out of gas.
Abi tankı nasıl durduruyorsun? Siz söyleyin. Bir tankı polis nasıl durdursun ya? Pit yapamıyor. Bir şey ne yapacak? Anlıyor musun?
Yes.
Somebody get a hold of the armory and find out if this thing is loaded.
Bak helikopterden diyor ki bir tanesi diyor bir şekilde öğrensin askeriyeden. Bu tank dolu mu dolu değil mi? Yani bomba mı diyor? Mermi olarak dolu mu değil mi? Onu roket olarak evet. Onu öğrenmeye çalışıyorlar.
He was circling while he was driving, so we thought maybe he was taking aim at something, to fire it. The front door and there's a tank coming down the street. That palm tree is on the front of the tank, and just as I got out in the driveway, he ran over my truck. He took out the telephone poles over there and he headed down the street and ran over that blue car right there, and then he went back and he ran over the fire hydrant and just kept on going.
It's like a war zone over here.
And I know he hit one occupied vehicle with a family in it. They just barely escaped before the car was crushed.
He hit the pole, dropped them like they were toothpicks, just snapped them down on the ground.
Traffic out of harm's way. This is the worst thing I think. It looks like he's going to go westbound. Get out of the way. Get out of the street. You're in danger. This is the San Diego Police Department. These cars ain't going through that.
What kind of a person is inside this tank?
Benim bildiğim kadarıyla devlete kızmıştı. Hatırladığım kadarıyla devlet bir şey oldu, devlete o kadar kızmış ki. Demiş sizin işte bilmem neyinizi, ben gidip tankı çalıyor, her yeri darmadağın ediyor.
What I was told was he had served in the army as a tank crewman, so he definitely had tank experience.
Evet, askerde tanklara bakan buymuş. Evet, tank crewman.
When I got behind him just before he got
otobana çıktı adam ya.
Southbound freeway, he tried to run over a couple of police cars that got in his way or or that he could see and maneuver to, and it was still going at a good 60-mile-an-hour clip up the freeway. They called our SWAT guys to see if they had anything in their arsenal they could stop him.
They do not have the ability. They do not.
SWAT'ı aramışlar. SWAT'a demişler ki sizin herhangi bir kabiliyetiniz var mı bunu durdurabilmek için? SWAT haber veriyor. Herhangi bir şeyimiz yok. Kabiliyetimiz yok bunu durdurmak için. Yani polis departmanlarının hiçbir kabiliyeti yok bir tankı durdurmak için. Askeriyi çağırmışlar. Başka bir tane tank getir. Önünü bloke etsin. Belki 2 tane daha tank getir. Yani tank savaşları gibi bir şey olsun.
Comes equipped with a what they call a nuclear, biological, chemical warfare system in it, which means he has fresh air to breathe. So if we used any chemical agents, they'd have no effect.
At this point, the man in the tank fell back on his military training. He decided to cut off his pursuers by putting a barrier between himself and the police. How? Knock down a bridge across the freeway.
Oha! Köprüyü kırmış. Köprüyü kırıyor.
When he got on the freeway, he made an abrupt right turn and he struck one of the support pillars that hold up this pedestrian footbridge. My concern was he was trying to collapse the bridge to prevent us from following him. Well, after a while, he gave up on trying to knock this pole out. And he continued on south.
Hesap etsene ya. Polissin, devreye geziyorsun. O günkü işin tank kovalamak.
He may have live ammunition on board. He might make a stand and start fighting. At this point, it looked like he's trying to maneuver the tank into the oncoming traffic. And if he had done that, we would have had a major chain reaction accident.
Oh my God.
Aha, ortaya vurdu.
He's on 805 just north of Genesee.
Ha, median'a çıktı. Kendi kendini mahvetti. Bak bu median var ya ortadaki bariyer. Tam o tankın ortasında hareket edemeyecek artık. Ondan dolayı kendi kendisine. Ama içeri nasıl girecekler?
The police knew that the gravest danger still lay ahead. They didn't have time to stop traffic coming down the opposite lanes of the freeway. If this man got the tank free and into those traffic lanes,
evet, takılmış oraya tank.
I used the bolt cutters and cut the hasp on the bolt, twisted the lock off, and opened up the hatch.
Bak görüyor musun şuradaki artık bir kag diyoruz biz buna da Türkiye'de Türkçe ne bilmiyorum. Hareket ediyor bak.
At that point we could look down in and we could see the driver. He never answers. He looked back and he made eye contact with Paul, so he knew we were there and he could see both Paul and I through the hatch.
Right now he's trying to come undone and the pavement underneath him is breaking up.
Oha, polisler sıkacak vallahi buna bence. Sıkacak.
The tank had to be stopped right now, and the driver had to be stopped, and Paul had to get in there and take control of the tank. So I fired one round, struck him on the shoulder, and traveled diagonally down through his body, and it was an immediate fatal wound.
Oo, bir tane vurmuşlar arkadaşlar. Omuzundan, yukarıdan vurduğu için mermi omuzdan giriyor ta aşağıya kadar. Anında öldürüyor adamı. Evet, bu adam.
High center on the center divide. I have no idea what would have happened. I know the people on the other side of the freeway would have been hurt or killed because there wasn't room for that tank and all those cars over there.
A bizarre and terrible reminder of just how powerless we are.
Kendi kendisini durdurdu ya, kendi kendisini. Adam kendi kendisini durdurdu. Yoksa bu tank nereye gidecekti?